How's it going, y'all? It's me, Noah, here. I'm riding on the 6-car Green Line San Francisco Daly City via Oakland Oakland Airport, aka OAK Airport, bound BART train. I hopped on this train at Fremont Station. There are the tracks to the Capital Corridor, ACE, and UP freight trains. I got on this train at Fremont Station, and I'll be riding all the way to its last stop, Daly City Station. There goes a 6-car Green Line Berryessa bound BART train passing us.
Arriving at Union City.
At 5:54 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, here we are pulling into our next station stop of Union City. We are pulling in to make our scheduled stop.
Now boarding at Union City. This is a Green Line train to Daly City. The doors
And I'm
are
riding all the way.
closing. Please stand clear of the doors.
Alright, y'all, here we go. We're departing Union City Station at 5:55 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, with our next stop being South Hayward.
The next station is
South Hayward. Those tracks down there, that's where the Amtrak Capital Corridor service runs. As well, that service runs between San Jose, Oakland, Sacramento, and Auburn. Also, freight trains run down there too. There goes Orange Line, Berryessa bound BART train passing us.
Arriving at South Hayward.
At 5:59 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, here we are pulling into our next scheduled stop, South Hayward.
Now boarding out South Hayward. This is a Green Line train to Daly City. The doors are closing. Please stand clear of the doors.
At 6 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, here we are departing South Hayward Station with our next stop being Hayward.
The next station is
Hayward. It's too late. It's too late. 6:04 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. We are pulling into Hayward to make our scheduled stop.
Now boarding at Hayward. This is a Green Line train to Daly City. The doors are closing. Please stand clear of the doors.
At 6:04 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, here we are departing Hayward with our next stop being Bayfair.
The next station is Bayfair.
This Green Line, Daly City, Berryessa bound BART train passing us. Bayfair.
Arriving at Bayfair.
At 6:07 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, here we are pulling into Bayfair Station to make our scheduled stop.
Now boarding at Bayfair. This is a Green Line train to Daly City. The doors are closing. Please stand clear of the doors.
At 6:08 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, here we are departing Bayfair with our next stop being San Leandro. And there's a 6-car Orange Line Berryessa bound BART train pulling in to make its scheduled stop there at Bayfair.
The next
I think
station
right below
is
us, that's the tracks to Amtrak's Capital Corridor service, or that could be a little more far out. SCC. San Leandro. Further out, that's where Amtrak's Capital Corridor service runs between Oakland, San Jose, Sacramento, and Auburn.
arriving at San Leandro.
Alright, 6:11 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. Here we are pulling into our next scheduled stop of San Leandro. And there's a Blue Line Dublin Pleasanton bound BART train stopped there next to us. Dublin.
Now boarding
There
out
goes the Blue Line
San
Dublin
Leandro.
Pleasanton bound
This
BART
is a
train
Green Line
departing.
train to Daly City. The doors are closing. Please stand clear of the doors.
At 6:12 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, here we are departing San Leandro with our next stop being Oakland Coliseum Station.
The next station is
Coliseum. Oakland Coliseum, that's our next stop. There goes a Green Line Berryessa bound BART train passing us. Look at the fog over there towards San Francisco, and there's downtown San Francisco all the way out there, right there, as well as the Bay Bridge a little bit. We're gonna be going underneath the Bay Bridge later. We're getting close to the Oakland Coliseum station. I see the old Oakland A's stadium right there. Caltrans.
Arriving at Coliseum.
At 6:15 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, here we are pulling into the Oakland Coliseum station to make our scheduled stop.
Now boarding at Coliseum. This is a Green Line train to Daly City. The doors are closing. Please stand clear of the doors.
At 6:16 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, here we are departing Oakland Coliseum Station, with our next stop being Fruitvale.
The next station is
Fruitvale. that's a blue line Dublin Pleasanton bound BART train or a green line Berryessa bound BART train. And that was a green line Berryessa bound BART train. At 6:19 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, here we are pulling into our next scheduled stop of Fruitvale.
Now boarding at
Fruitvale,
This is a green line train to
Daly City.
The doors are closing. Please stand clear of the doors.
At 6:20 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, here we are departing Fruitvale, with our next stop being Lake Merritt.
The next station is
Lake Merritt. Cross. Those tracks down there, that's where Amtrak's Capital Corridor and Coast Starlight run, as well as the UP and some BNSF freight trains. There's Highway 880 right there. There's a green line, there's a orange line Berryessa bound BART train passing us. I think that was an orange line Berryessa bound train or a blue line Dublin Pleasanton bound BART train passing us. Look at all those freight cars right there, those freight trains. Union Pacific engine 1001 right there. At 6:23 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, here we are pulling into Lake Merritt Station to make our scheduled stop.
Lake Merritt. This is a Green Line train to Daly City.
DC.
The doors are closing. Please stand clear of the doors.
It's our second to last stop here in Oakland. Alright y'all, here we are departing Lake Merritt Station at 6:24 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, with our next stop being West Oakland.
The next station is West Oakland.
West Oakland. There's the Bay Bridge over there. There's downtown San Francisco as well. What that line of BART train is passing us.
Arriving at West Oakland.
At 6:29 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, here we are pulling into our next scheduled stop, West Oakland Station.
Now boarding at West Oakland. This is a Green Line train to Daly City. The doors are closing. Please stand clear of the doors.
At 6:30 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, here we are departing West Oakland Station with our next stop being Embarcadero. We're going to be going through the Transbay tube soon into San Francisco. That was our last stop here in Oakland. Next stop, Embarcadero. There's downtown San Francisco and the Bay Bridge all the way out there. Goes a 9-car yellow line. Goes a 9-car yellow line Antioch bound BART train passing us. Gotta be going into the Transbay tube right now. We're in the Transbay tube right now. We're underneath the water right now, underneath the bay. 6:35 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. Here we are pulling into our first stop here in San Francisco, Embarcadero Station. It's our first stop on Market Street. We're in the downtown area of San Francisco.
Now boarding at Embarcadero.
This
This
is
is a Green Line train to Daly City. The doors are closing. Please stand clear of the doors.
At 6:36 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, here we are departing Embarcadero, with our next stop being Montgomery Street.
The next station is Montgomery Street. Arriving at Montgomery Street.
Okay, at 6:37 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, here we are pulling into Montgomery Street to make our scheduled stop.
Now boarding at Montgomery Street. This is a Green Line train to Daly City. The doors are closing. Please stand clear of the doors.
At 6:38 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, here we are departing Montgomery Street Station here in San Francisco, with our next stop being Powell Street.
The next station is Powell Street.
At 6:38 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, here we are pulling into Powell Street Station to make our scheduled stop.
Now boarding at Powell Street. This is a Green Line train to Daly City.
Platform 1.
The doors are closing. Please stand clear of the doors.
At 6:39 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, here we are departing Powell Street, with our next stop being Civic Center, UN Plaza. At 6:40 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, here we are pulling into Civic Center, UN Plaza to make our scheduled stop.
Now boarding at Civic Center, UN Plaza. This is a Green Line train to Daly City.
Hear the Muni above.
The doors are closing. Please stand clear of the doors.
At 6:41 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, here we are departing Civic Center UN Plaza Station. There's a 6-car red line Richmond bound BART train pulling in to make its scheduled stop. Our next stop is 16th Street Mission.
The next station is 16th Street, Mission.
It's loud in here. At 6:42 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, here we are pulling into our next scheduled stop, 16th Street Mission. There's a 9-car yellow line Antioch bound BART train right there.
Now boarding at 16th Street, Mission. This is a Green Line train to Daly City.
Platform 1.
The doors are closing. Please stand clear of the doors.
Alright y'all, here we are departing 16th Street Mission Station at 6:43 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, with our next stop being 24th Street Mission. At 6:44 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, here we are pulling into our next scheduled stop, 24th Street Mission Station.
Now boarding at 24th Street, Mission. This is a Green Line train to Daly City.
Platform 1. Platform.
The doors are closing. Please stand clear of the doors.
At 6:45 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, here we are departing 24th Street Mission Station, with our next stop being Glen Park. Glen Park. Glen Park, that's our Sorry guys. At 6:47 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, here we are pulling into Glen Park Station to make our scheduled stop. This is our second to last stop, last San Francisco stop. Second to last San Francisco stop.
Now boarding at Glen Park. This is a Green Line train to Daly City.
Platform 1.
The doors are closing. Please stand clear of the doors.
At 6:48 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, here we are departing Glen Park Station with our next stop being Balboa Park. That stop is our last stop here in San Francisco.
The next station is Balboa Park.
Glen Park. We are out of the tunnel into the fog. It was so nice earlier in Fremont and the East Bay.
Arriving at Balboa Park.
At 6:49 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, here we are pulling in to make our next scheduled stop here at Balboa Park. This is our last stop here in San Francisco.
Now boarding at Balboa Park. This is a Green Line train to Daly City.
Here comes a 9-car yellow line, Antioch bound BART train pulling in to make its scheduled stop here at Balboa Park. At 6:50 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, here we are departing Balboa Park, our last San Francisco stop, with our next stop being the last stop for this train, Daly City.
The next station is Daly City.
One more BART train I've got to take after this one. Gotta take one more to get from Daly City to get back to South San Francisco, to get back home. That's a blue line, Dublin Pleasanton bound BART train passing us. San Francisco, Dublin, Pleasanton via OAK Airport, bound BART train.
Attention, this train is going out of service. All passengers must exit the train.
It's foggy. There goes a green line, Berryessa via OAK Airport, bound BART train, passing us San Francisco, Berryessa via OAK Airport, bound BART train, passing us. There's the Daly City station right there. I'll be pulling in to make it. This train's about to go out of service. Go out.
Daly City. Attention, this train is going out of service.
Right on time at 6:53 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. Here we are pulling into Daly City Station to make our scheduled stop. This is the last stop for this train. Alright y'all, thanks for riding on the 6-car Green Line Daly City bound BART train with me from Fremont. You're all the way to Daly City. It's me, Noah Larson, signing off, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace out.